All right, it says we are live. We are in. We should have chat popping up. Looks like we have excellent connection. I'm going to unmute all our players and we can get going.
It's like he doesn't trust us.
No, I've learned from Dapper. No, I don't. It never fails, and he's so good. I've been enough of his games and everything now. It's so good. He's like, "Hey, we're live in 2 minutes. Hey, the intro started 20 seconds, and then about 15 seconds after that, someone will start some long monologue, and it's like, we're live now, right? Dapper should be doing the opening."
That's the point. You're supposed to have a long story going as you go live. That way, someone who first tunes in is lost and confused and has to figure out what's going on.
Exactly. That's why we talk about that time we had to take the ferry down to Shelbyville. All right, everybody, welcome. This is our session 0 for Cozy Cat Games presents Dragonbane. We're going to be using the Alchemy VTT, as you see in the background here, animating behind us, to run through the base starter set adventure, which we have right here in physical copy. My chroma key doesn't like it, but it's here. It's kind of ghosty. It's kind of ghosted. Yep.
That tracks.
We've got all of our players with us here. We've got beneath me here, we have Megan, and then we have Kel. And then over on the right, we've got Mike, Ash, and Amanda. We will kind of go through today. We're going to do some introductions as far as the system, the setting, the players, and all of the characters we've made. Let's start with going through players. I will go first since it's me. I'm in the hot seat. My name is Steve. I've been a dungeon master for I don't even remember how long. It's been a while. I started in middle school before I met any of these people, and then stopped from then until just a few years ago. I do a lot at our local game store, Crazy Squirrel. They're in Fresno, California. You can see behind me the fake but not fake stack of board games that we use here constantly. You'll know me from this channel. We're on here quite a bit since it's our channel. We'll pass it down. We'll go to Megan.
Well, I am Megan. I am the better half of Cozy Cat Games. And I have been playing in role-playing games for the last, decade or so. And occasionally DM. Been DMing for about 5 years. Not going to DM for a while. Got a little burnout. But yeah, so I'm super excited. I've only played a couple things in the system, so I'm excited to see how much we break Steve's brain.
All right, down to Kel.
Hey, my name's Kel. I have been involved in fantasy ever since a young age, but I've only really done tabletop seriously since college. Happened to get extraordinarily lucky and just end up at a table with Megan and Steve long ago and became fast friends, and they have been gracious enough to keep me around ever since. Well, on the Central Coast now, but I'm very fortunate to be back with some friends.
All right, let's go up. We'll go to the other corner here. We'll go to Mike. Well, I guess I got to point that way. It's mirrored.
It's all different on my screen too. I'm Mike. I got into tabletop gaming actually before Steve. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, or Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the second edition, when I was in second grade through fourth grade, and then didn't play again until college. I've pretty much exclusively played with Steve as the DM. We've done 5e, we've done Alien, we've done Dragonbane as a one-shot before, but I've forgotten almost all of it. But yeah, I've long history in tabletop games, but I haven't played a lot of them.
All right, down to Ash.
I'm Ash. I like games and not talking about myself. Yeah.
That's plenty good. Ash and Mike are our other gamer couple here that are in here. We're glad to have them here. I was very excited that they both wanted to join us for this game. And last but certainly not least, go ahead and give us our final player.
My name's Amanda. I've known Megan and Steve for Oh gosh, I don't even know how long. It hasn't been that long. Now I think of it. And I only got involved in tabletop gaming in 2020 when I found a Discord tabletop game up in Oakhurst, and our D&D up in Oakhurst, and then we started meeting in person. Met some of my best friends that way. And then it traveled when I moved down to Fresno, and here I am for some unknown reason.
Isn't that weird how that always just happens? Games are great at bringing people together and making nice little groups of friends. So that is who we have as our players. Let me give you kind of a quick introduction to the setting. Dragonbane is a fantasy setting, very similar to what you would see in like Lord of the Rings, or what people who've done Dungeons and Dragons would recognize, with a few little twists and things. It's produced by or made by Free League. Free League has some of the just most fantastic systems. I love their art design. I love all of their character design they do. So I was very excited when they started doing this run of Dragonbane. This is actually in Sweden. This is the popular system, not Dungeons and Dragons. So it's going to be a fairly traditional D20 system, with the caveat of we're actually looking for low rolls on skills. So if you're good at rolling ones, this is your system. Some of the terminology will be familiar. Some of it will be kind of reskinned from what you're used to in other games. So you might be used to saying, advantage and disadvantage. In this one, it's going to be boon and bane. So a boon is good and a bane is bad. It'll get you to roll extra dice. A natural 1 in this is called a dragon. So if you roll a nat 1, you've rolled a dragon. If you roll a nat 20, that is called a demon. Beyond that, there's a few other changes that we'll kind of get to as we play. I know amongst my players, I think Megan has the most experience with this system as a player, and I think she's played like 2 games of like one-shots.
You've done it for Free RPG Day 2 years in a row, and we've done a one-shot at home. So yeah, 3 whole games.
3 whole games. So that's our most experienced player, is 3 one-shots. So this will be new for pretty much everybody. I'm sure we're going to make a lot of mistakes. Chat, feel free to jump in and chime in if you like something, if you want to do something. If by chance we end up getting our channel up to being monetized while we're doing this, we'll put in super chat incentives so you guys can help the players out so that I don't kill them. Maybe you guys can buy them some extra boons or something.
Or you'll kill us.
No. Listen,
I've only killed a few of you,
Including me.
yes,
and me. No, you were present.
So, the actual world that we're going to be playing in, everything takes place in the Misty Vale. So just like Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition has the Forgotten Realms, has Sword Coast, and nothing else exists, all of Dragonbane, every adventure, everything takes place in the Misty Vale. It is a protected kind of valley where most of civilization really hasn't been able to be in, quite a long time. Lots of monsters, really inhospitable. But the majority of the nasty orcs that live there have been keeping it kind of that way, have started to disperse over the last couple decades. So we've got some settlers moving in. We've got some adventurers moving in. There's rumors of treasure and fame and fortune and all sorts of grand things to be had. And that is where our players are going to come in. They are a group who has heard tale of these riches and things that they could get, their adventure, whatever each of them is individually after. I'm surprised we didn't end up with a Scrooge McDuck this time. I really expected it, but we didn't. Well, you have a duck. Yes, Ash, you're a duck, but you didn't do the merchant Scrooge McDuck.
But she is very greedy.
She is very greedy. That is
So
true.
greedy.
So this is our group of players who are going to be moving into this valley to seek some fame and fortune. So let's go through and introduce the actual roles that we'll be playing through the game. Of course, I'm going to be the game master. If I say dungeon master, please slap me. We're game master because we're not in Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, wifey is in slapping distance, so she could reach. Well, I mean T-Rex arms. She'd have to lean
Short arms. I don't think so.
She does have short arms. So I will be the game master. I will be running the setting. I will be telling you what's going on, who's where, what's. Oh, she's gonna hit me with a tape measure. My God, you guys
Ooh.
started something evil already.
She's gonna hit
so
herself with that too, though.
I will be running the majority of the world. Everything that I'm not controlling will be our 5 players here. We can actually have 6 players in this comfortably. So we do have an extra slot that we are going to use for guest players here and there. We will also, if we have a week where one of our main players can't make it, we'll be putting in a guest player in that spot if we can. So let's introduce characters. Now we started over on this side. Let's go ahead and start with our halfling this time. Let's do the brewers. Let's go around. So would you please introduce who you are playing as this time?
But why?
Not shortest to tallest.
Shortest to tallest, that would be delightful.
The duck might be shorter.
Oh, don't.
The duck tries too hard.
Well, what would you like to know?
Give us a name, race, and just a little blurb. You don't have to read your whole backstory, but just kind of a little, what should people know about your character?
Well, my name is Verkath. I am a halfling that grew up just outside of the Wildlands. My mother died at a young age. I grew up with my father. I carry his pipe along with me as he also died defending our village. And I always run into situations head on. I do look at them, trust me, but not very well. I'm a fighter, an adult as halflings go. I don't know what else you'd like from me.
That's perfect. You know what that means. Ash, it's your turn. You got to say
Okay.
something.
Right. I'm Peoria Billiard. I'm a mallard and a thief. I wasn't always going to be a thief, but I was just going to be an adventurer, but didn't work out that way. Now I'm just greedy. And I heard about some treasure being opened up for me, and went going to get it with all of you.
All right, and can you tell everybody what a mallard is?
That would be a duck.
They are an anthropomorphic duck race, and they look very much like DuckTales duck. It's fantastic. The official art for them is glorious.
I'm gonna get ahead of it, and if I call you
The
Howard,
official
I-
art is straight up
sorry.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, it's straight up. Yeah, the actual like official art, which is on the rule book, not this one I have here, is just straight up Darkwing Duck. Mike, who is going in next?
All right, I'm playing Rasker Saltfang Thornwake. I'm a young wolfkin. Oh, I just shrunk all my text. I started my journey at the age of 12, stowing upon a merchant galley, and after getting caught, talked myself into just becoming a deckhand instead of being thrown overboard. And spent a decade working on that cargo sloop, which may have been questionable. So more of a smuggling ship than a merchant ship. Naturally drawn to anything shiny, and I just like that you can buy your way through things that you can't force your way into. But unfortunately, my ship got sunk, and I couldn't find any survivors when I woke up. So I am now hoping to get some money, get another boat, maybe a crew, get some revenge on the guys who sunk my ship.
All right, beautiful. Kel, would you like to introduce who you're playing as?
Certainly. I am Murzog, Knight of Rizel. I am an orc, not like the ones you're thinking of. And I am on a mission to spread the good word of my supposedly forgotten goddess that no one else has ever heard of. Very quixotic in nature, always bold and brash and brazen, ready to charge in, maybe without thinking of the dangers firsthand. But he figures, who could possibly deny the divinity of his goddess if he's doing all these amazing, bold, heroic feats? Surely through my actions they can see the divinity.
All right, and Megan, last one to introduce.
So I'm terrible and I didn't write a great backstory, but I am Peach's Thunderpaw, and I am a how do you pronounce? Basically a cat person. Correct. Correct.
You're Catfolk, yeah.
Yeah, they're called something else in Dragonbane.
No, that's the little demon guys. You're just a Catfolk.
Oh, okay.
Did you
And
mix yourself up with demon folk again?
apparently I did. I'm a bard, and I have basically been ostracized from my people for enjoying music and entertainment, and I am out exploring the world, just figuring out a better place.
All right. Everybody gets paid out for whoever bet that waifu would be a bard. She's never played bard before. Definitely not like every game.
Definitely not a cat person either.
Yeah, no, never been a cat before either.
I don't know
Although
what a cat is.
in the other game, she was a bear.
What is a bear but a big
She's got a fox.
cat that isn't a cat?
Yeah, I had a fox.
Yeah, she had a fox. When we did Humblewood, she was a fox.
I swear I'm not a furry.
All
But
right.
Your husband is.
Yes,
We'll
I
agree
am.
to disagree.
Mm.
Deafening silence that met
Furry
that.
adjacent.
Guilt by association.
Literally adjacent.
All right. So we know who is kind of going in here. Let's give a quick rundown of kind of the character creation process, kind of what we went through to get going. I know it's kind of weird that our session 0 happens before our session 0, but this is session 0ception. We like to do it that way. Let's just do a little bit more open chit chat without the 3 hours of what does this do and where does it go that typically comes with session 0s.
Double that with the learning the new VTT.
With learning a new VTT, which, guys, Alchemy, I've only used it just a little bit so far. I already love it. I already absolutely love what's going on. The animated background you see behind us is actually straight up the VTT. It's set up to do streaming and cinematic, and it's fantastic. In fact, let's switch over. Let's show the gameplay camera. So this will be our gameplay camera. I don't know if my players are tuned in to be able to actually see it, but this will be what you see when we are live playing our game. If we make a roll, it will go ahead and automatically put our roll up on the screen. It will also show us our chat and anything else we need. It will switch up. I have control of it here. If you wanted to use this for... Oh man, we got a fail already. Look at that acrobatics fail. Our mallard is
Nat 20,
on
the bad one.
Yeah, that's a demon. So if you wanted to use this, it'll work for voice and video as well. We had trouble with it, so we defaulted to Discord. But it is actually made for streaming. It's also made for like pickup games. It's made to have people come in and out of games, and it's a pretty friendly system for that.
Also, don't forget your character travels with you, not with the game you're in.
Correct. You get 3 character slots. You can do the premium membership thing if you want more, but you can have 1 active game that you have as your game, and then you can have up to 3 characters, and if you move to a different game, your characters come with you. So that is fantastic. It runs for a lot of systems. It runs for all the Free League systems. I actually might consider this next time I run Alien. It's pretty nice for that. It's meant for more theater of the mind. It does have tactical mode, so we can go into... I can't go to tactical mode here because we don't actually have tactical mode on this map. But we can go into tactical mode and we can have a grid. We can do all of the fun, usual tokens and moving around, but this is meant for more of theater of the mind and story going, which will be perfect for this system. So this is what we'll be looking at for the majority of the time.
I will say it's also not ridiculously expensive like certain other
Yes.
online things.
Yeah, this is one of those you can start it for free, and if you do want to actually pay into it and get the full, it's not that much.
Well, they have a bunch of free mods too, so
Mhm.
super nice.
Yes. So we will be using, this is the Dragonbane. This is the premium, costs an extra, I think it was $10 to have the premium that gives you the ambient sound and the animations. Usually I would have just skipped that, but since we're streaming this, I figured we might want a little bit more than just nothing. But yeah, so when we make our characters, when we all kind of went through, You do very much like you would any system. You're going to pick your race. You're going to pick your profession, which is your class in this one. You're going to roll your stats, and you're going to pick your skills. There is a few little differences. Your movement speed is going to be modified by your agility. So just because you pick the same race as someone else doesn't mean you end up with the same movement speed. Your agility and your strength will affect your damage bonuses as a dice modifier, not just a straight number. And then the kind of biggest change is when you roll your stats, you're going to roll 4d6, drop the lowest, then assign that stat before you roll again. So you get to gamble a little bit. Now, I didn't really check a lot of where everybody put their stats. Did anybody get any really good or bad gambles on this one?
I got two. None of my stats are great, but I got 2 11s.
That's above
I have a
average.
bunch
almost.
of I have a bunch of 14s.
14s are good.
And
I have 117.
Nice.
Oh, that's with the modifier for being young.
Cal,
For the-
flip it back down.
for the skills that I have, like for the stats actually, like strength, con, etc., I have nothing below a 15.
Oh, that's great. That's beautiful.
That's really, really good.
I
I-
have everything below a 15.
that was
Same.
Yeah, that was how Mike was when we did our one shot. He rolled miserable, and
Oh yeah, and you didn't let us re-roll on that.
No, I did give everybody. I gave everybody 1 re-roll on a stat below 10. So we did have that.
Yeah, when we played, I had 2 6s on our one shot.
Oh, that's terrible. I got lucky.
Actually,
Again.
one was on your main stat because your other rolls weren't very good either.
No, I got 17 strength, 15 con, 14 willpower. Feels like a pretty good spread.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect for getting punched in the face when other people need to not get punched in the face.
I do like that you've already said you're going to be the one charging in first.
Oh yeah, but I'm grabbing you and carrying you with me.
What was your character's name? Meat Shield?
Well, that's what Murzog means in Orcish, yeah.
All right.
He was typecast birth.
So we all assign our stats that way. And as Mike mentioned, age is a stat in this one. You can be young, adult, or old. Being young gives you a bonus to your agility and strength, but only allows you to pick. Everybody gets 6 skills plus additionals. It only gives you 2 additional skills. Being an adult gives you no bonuses, no restrictions, and gives you 4 extra skills. If you choose to be old, you get reduced physical stats, you get increased intellect, and you get 6 extra skills that you get to be trained in. Being trained in a skill means you start with double your rate on it, which is fantastic because this is a roll under system. So you just have to roll lower than your skill. What did everybody pick as far as your age goes on this one?
Adult.
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 I thought about going old for lore, but
And then I went young. Luckily in the rules, it does say young is like up to about your early to mid 20s. So it's not that you're a child, you're just a young adult.
wait, were we
That
supposed
gave
to
me the
pick,
extra strength and agility, which really helped me.
were we supposed to pick off a physical age or mental age?
Well, the stats really only go off of physical. We might have to homebrew some mental age thing in here. So
Please
the way
don't. I'll be screwed.
So the way it works is after you have picked your age and your class and your profession, because again, there's no real like true classes. It's your profession. You have a set of skills in your profession that you must pick 6 of. Then you can pick your additionals based off of your age. You'll look every single one of the skills, whether you have it or not, up in a table, and that will determine the actual like score you have in it, which is what you have to roll under. So anything you're not trained in, you'll just go straight off of your stat. So you look it up and like, oh, this gives me a 5, or this gives me a 6, and you'll just copy that over. And then if you're trained in it, you'll copy that over, but you'll double it. So instead of a 5, it'll become a 10. So having your skills up is very good because it is possible to have like a 3, which means you can only succeed on a 1, 2, or 3 on your die. So definitely having those numbers bigger is better. Just from what I looked over, nobody ended up with anything really horrible on that, which is good. May you guys roll low. I mean, that sounds really
Oh,
brutal.
yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, most of my stats correlate with exactly what you think an orc knight would be good at and bad at. So I hit things with hammers real good, and I sneak real bad.
You've just jinxed it for all of us. Thanks.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, now we just know that if I sneak real bad, I have to be the distraction. I go clink clink over there while you guys actually make it into where we're going.
I'm supposed to talk good.
Meow.
I have a very high language skill in this, luckily.
I imagine that you probably speak something like the Palicos do in the Monster Hunter anime. Just constant, non-stop cat puns and purrs and yowls.
I'm not doing that.
Thank you. Because I would roll for punting.
All right. So
What's the hang time on a cat creature?
beyond that, your Constitution and Intellect immediately just kind of transfer over to being your hit points and your willpower. Willpower is sort of your mana in this, but it also gets used for physical abilities as well. Everybody has a one racial ability except for Mallards, so Ash has two. Mallards get two, everybody else gets one. They pretty much cost some amount between 1 and 3 willpower and give you some little bonus. None of them are like just game breaking good, but they are all very useful. Nobody took Spellcaster. I know Kel has a backup Spellcaster idea for when he dies horribly.
And he will.
And he will, definitely, absolutely. He wants to die. That's if you go out looking for death, you find it. Spellcasting is very interesting in this system. When you choose to cast a spell, you'll have, like, say you're an Elementalist mage. You'll get a skill Elementalist. You'll write it in on your character sheet. There's actually some blank spots for writing in skills that aren't the defaults. You'll write in Elementalist. And every time you cast a spell, you will have to roll that skill before you cast your spell to see if you're even able to cast a spell. So it definitely adds a bit of thought to Spellcaster, because it's not, I'm going to fireball, it's, ooh, I'm going to try to fireball. So that's definitely something that I'm kind of glad we don't have in the start, but I'll be interested to see if we get it later on how that plays out. That leads us into actions in combat. So every system has some number of actions. So, Dungeons and Dragons, you have action, bonus action, reaction. In the Aliens, which we, quite a few of these people were in my Aliens campaign. In fact, everybody but Amanda was in my Aliens campaign. They're used to having a fast action and a slow action. This system, you have one action. That's it. So each round of combat, you will have to choose whether you're going to attack, use an ability, cast a spell, or whether you're going to dodge or parry. Dodging can be used against pretty much everything. You cannot parry a monster attack. So you can't parry things that aren't using weapons, basically. So keep that in mind. If you parry, you're going to block with your weapon. You're going to deflect it with your weapon. Your weapon has a durability. If the damage you parry exceeds the durability of your weapon breaks. So keep that in mind. If your weapon's broke, it becomes unusable until you get to town and get it repaired. Does everyone kind of understand how actions are going to work in this one? Pretty easy.
Right. There was only one thing I noticed with one of my abilities, and that is some heroic abilities don't count as an action. Use them before your action.
Correct. You will have certain abilities which will tell you that they don't count, that they don't take an action. Those ones are free. They will tell you in the ability if you use them on your turn or if they're an at will. They just cost the willpower points. So consume the willpower, do the thing. Initiative. In the actual physical Dragonbane, very much like Alien, initiative is done with a deck of cards. We shuffle them up and deal them out. Bad guys get a card, you guys get a card, and we go in card order. Some bad guys are really fast and might get 2 or 3 cards each. So we will clump bad guys up by what they are. So I won't, if there's 4 goblins, I won't make all 4 goblins draw a card and, end up with a million goblin turns. We'll put, all of those on one, and all of, the Wolf Riders on one, and all of, Low Rag, the World Destroyer, can be on his own. So we'll put each of those on their own card. We go through that round. On your turn, when it comes up to your card, if you don't want to act immediately, if you want to hold your turn, you may pick anybody on your team lower in initiative with you and switch turns with them. They don't get an option. So if Megan, if your card initiative 1, but you want to go last, and Mike has card 7, you can just take his card 7 and give him card 1, and he has to go. He can't pass that on. He has to just take it and go. So that's something to work out between the group. If you do want to hold back, try to be diplomatic about it. But in the end, if you really just want to take someone's card, you can.
I don't want to be diplomatic. I want it to be a surprise every time.
Is diplomatic the word for when you
No
pick them up
pre-gaming the
combat?
round.
Yeah, bad guys technically can do the same thing. I'm not going to allow that for this one. I'm going to use whatever I get dealt on my cards. I won't be shifting them around. Your cards at the end of every round get dealt back in, shuffled, and dealt out again. In the VTT, we just click the randomize button. So we'll obviously go off of the VTT, go off of it, it'll pick our order for us. And every round when we finish combat, we'll randomize it. The order will be different, and we'll go again. I do like that this system does that every round is going to give us a different order, that we're not necessarily going to be in the same layout every single time. I don't know how everyone else kind of feels on that one. I know it's a little different from most games, but I think it'll be fun.
I do have one question on it, though, and that is the enemy's initiative. Do we see that, or is that hidden to us?
You will see the enemy's initiative.
Okay.
I know I haven't actually shown you much of the VTT, but it'll be in your upper right. In fact, let's go.
That's
If
a
it's
great
an
question.
option, I'd love to not be able to see it. For all
Okay.
of us.
I was going to say I thought that balanced it really well. The like at least being able to see the turn order lets you kind of plan with teams, but that's a fair take the other way too. So I could be good with either.
And obviously, we can always elect not to look at the NPC screen, but
But will your brain allow you to do that?
Ooh, my VTT is froze. That's fun.
It says you're
I
offline.
noticed you were offline, but you were still going, so I figured it was fine.
That's all right. We'll refresh it real quick.
You won't let the internet stop him.
There you go. Our internet's probably screaming right now.
Hey, I can change it now. All right, so we can switch over to our opening scene here. Now, people watching, you're not going to be able to see this because you get the fun cinematic version. So here, I can go tactical mode.
Going tactical.
So we're able to see tactical mode here. I don't know if that's going to pop up on... It might not pop up on this, but I do have the ability to hit a button and kind of give you guys a preview of what I see. So we've got that there. I have a list of NPCs. I can activate them, and I can roll initiatives and things for them. I can do like this. We should have initiative now. Yeah. So you guys should now, and on screen you can now see in the upper right, we've got our initiative pulled up. Currently, if I don't click the active, you guys don't see the bad guys. That is an option.
As far as I can tell, yeah, we're fighting this mountain.
So, from my players, do you want it to be that the bad guys are hidden?
Well, I want to know they're there. I just don't want to see them on the list if it's possible, like on the initiative list.
I can work with whatever. I like the idea of having them on the initiative list. I think that's a good balance to it being different initiative every round. So the fleet, like you're always going in a different order, but at least we can kind of plan. But I also know that some people prefer just kind of taking it as it comes. So I default to whatever the group prefers. I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other.
So I have the option of making them hidden and invisible as we go. So if you're worried about like not seeing the hidden guy sneaking up, I can keep him off the initiative list until he actually appears.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Now, once he's in combat, I'd like to.
So, for example, I just showed the scout. You'll now see that there is a scout in the list because I have chosen to show the scout.
See him. There he is. Just below Saltfang.
I can also hide him if he goes off. So we have that now on there. All of my players can see their own stats and everything. They can look at anything that's not hidden. They'll be able to pull it up and look at information on it. So that is there for everybody. Oh, my VTT froze again. I might have to use a different browser for this.
Oh no.
Oh, am I the only one using the app?
I'm using the app as well.
I will probably switch to the app.
I really like the app.
The app,
The browser.
app has been totally stable for me. Stable for me so far.
Same.
Let's go back to our fun scene that had our ambient audio in here. Oh, right. So that'll be kind of combat we'll go through. It's going to work just like basically every other game. You're going to take your turn. You're going to tell me where you go, what you do. We'll roll some dice. We'll do some damage. Everything is done in meters in this. Most everybody's going to have like a 2-meter reach, and that's 2-meter squares. So just like every other game ever, you can hit the squares next to you. If meters confuses everybody, when we go to American systems, I guess we could measure it in like bananas or something.
Where it's fantasy,
Eagles.
I can do meters.
Medium boulders the size of large boulders.
Is the boulder made out of boulder though?
I think it's made out of stone or rock, but I'm not sure how that works.
I'm not a dwarf. I wouldn't know.
All right. So beyond that, that's pretty much all there is to kind of the basics of that. The actual adventure is divided into little like mini sessions, which I have here in front of me. Nobody can see it. I might get you guys like an over my shoulder cam once we actually get going to see some of what I've got in front of me. As far as our audience goes, so that everybody can kind of see what's going on, see what's happening.
I would just like to point out that Ash is wearing a shirt that Steve designed.
Oh, Ash is wearing my shirt. That makes me happy.
Do you know you lost it?
I just had to point it out. No, he designed that.
I know. That was.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wouldn't be unheard of, but you know.
I can't really see it, but I'm wearing a Calum Sky one that Al Radic designed that I did the Kickstarter for. I'm in a Discord server with Al Radic. We play Phasmophobia. She's fantastically wonderful person, and she does artwork for Magic the Gathering. So I like to wear shirts that my artist friends have done. So I'm wearing, not that you can see my shirts, but I'm wearing one that Andre Radic did.
I thought about wearing my Pride Crazy Squirrel shirt, but you can't really see it, so.
That's all right.
Regular show.
And chat, anybody in chat can feel free to shout questions out if you have any questions you have for the system or our players or anything like that.
And I guess technically this is hashtag sponsored, not sponsored by Crazy Squirrel, since they're the reason that we have all this.
Crazy Squirrel is a fantastic game store. I think we all here go to Crazy Squirrel fairly frequently, and I try to buy everything I can there. They're
Not
great.
enough.
Not enough. No, you need to go to more. I actually don't go hardly at all anymore, and it's sad. I've got to get a table going, but I've got so many games right now.
It makes the staff sad. They ask me about him every time I go in.
I
I
get it. Yeah, I used to run the new player table on Fridays, which was ran through D&D 5e Essentials Kit. This adventure we're doing here actually reminds me very much of Essentials Kit. You guys will have an opening scene that we'll go through. That'll kind of set up get the story rolling. After that, you will have quests you can take. I will be kind of limiting which ones are available so I don't have to prep all 11 all at once. I could probably do that, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not have to like have 11 quests memorized right off the top of my head. You guys will be searching for the magical MacGuffin, whatever it happens to be. We'll figure that out as we go.
Definitely something shiny though.
It
I'm gonna
possibly
steal it.
possibly shiny.
It's Scottish.
Possibly Scottish. I mean, Scotland exists in this universe, right?
I'm pretty sure it's mystical. I don't think it actually exists. Oh.
That is possible. There are some fairies and fae there. So you guys will be going through the quests until you find all the pieces of the MacGuffin. Minor spoilers there. You would have found that out session 1 anyways, and we've already talked about it in session. What do we call
-1?
-1? Yeah, session
-0.
Re-zero.
Re-zero. Is this Revenge of the Zero?
Did we offend the zero somehow? Did the zero need revenge?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, this might be divided by 0. We don't know. So we've got our magical MacGuffin. Once you have all of the pieces, you'll be able to do the final quest and finish the story. We are planning on doing, give or take, 20-ish sessions at max. So if we finish it in 12, 13 sessions, great. If we go a little longer, we go a little longer. We're going to try not to go, make this some marathon thing. The time we started today at 6 o'clock will be our regular start time for this game. We will go live probably a half-ish hour beforehand just to kind of have a BS chat session, because that's the killer for a lot of games is everybody gets in, we're all excited, and we spend the first half of the stream chatting. So we're going to try to get that out before we actually start. So anybody that wants to join in early, you are welcome to join in early for the pregame. Once the pregame is over at 6 o'clock, we will start the actual game. We'll run for approximately 2 hours, and then we'll do a post-game, again, kind of chat session, winding it down, during which we have our magical level up system for this, because this game has no true levels. What we have instead is the ability to advance your skills. Is everybody with your magical rolls excited to advance skills and have bigger numbers?
I love bigger numbers. A game I'm going through is going through a number squish right now, and I'm very upset about it.
Honestly, this is my favorite level up system. As someone who played Alien for, 2 years? This is my favorite level up system.
The only thing I can't remember, does our health ever get bigger? Because we don't have traditional levels.
Only if you take the thing that increases your health.
Yeah, Alien was like that too.
And then I also seem to remember healing is not something you get very much of in this.
No, healing is very hard to come by. And
Because I don't think there's any healing magic.
Yeah, and damage immunities are much more common in this than they are in D&D. Immunities and resistances.
I know I took some skills in healing, but it really just seemed a way to cause people to get back up after going down.
It allows you to stabilize and things.
I did that rallying was a persuasion. I just liked the idea of someone being willing to die and then convincing them otherwise. No, you know what? Maybe I will get back up.
Yeah, hey, you want to get back up? You want to get back up and keep fighting? Maybe. Yeah, rally's a thing.
Definitely going to be giving lots of butt pats and get out their champs and stuff rub some dirt in it.
And I love that bushcraft is a thing. What?
Well, now it
I prefer to hurt than to heal.
Thanks, now it's never going to mean what it used to mean.
Yeah. So the way this will work is as we go through the game, and you make your rolls. If somebody wants to make a roll, so we can pop one up on the screen real quick. Make a skill check. Anybody who wants to, everybody who wants to. There we go. We got some skills coming up. All right. So we got a fail. We got some passes. We got some fails. You will get to bubble in on your character sheet, which you guys can open up and get into. We used it when we were character creating as a placeholder. You'll be able to bubble in if you get a dragon or a demon. So if you roll a nat 20 or a nat 1, you will get to bubble that in. That means you get a chance, emphasis on chance, to increase that skill at the end of the session. On top of that, you will have a little question session at the end of it. It's the same questions. I actually don't have the rulebook in front of me, so I don't have them at hand. I do remember the very first question is, did you participate? So basically, if you're in the stream, you participated. So you'll get to bubble in, and for every bubbled in skill, you'll get to roll 1d20. If you roll higher than that skill, you can increase it by 1. If you do a skill up to 18, it's max. When you get a skill to 18, you immediately get to take a feat. Another heroic ability is what they're called in this one. So you'll get to take a new heroic ability. That is the only way to increase anything. So any extra abilities, any extra health, that all comes through taking heroic abilities. So just like in Alien, your health's never going to go up. Your core stats are never going to go up. You're just going to add modifiers to them through taking other abilities.
What happens if the nat 20 or the we'll call it the right thing, the demon or the dragon is part of a bane or a boon roll?
It still counts. It still counts. The other fun one in this system is your bane and boon stack up. So they cancel each other out, but if you have like 5 boons and 2 banes, you're still going to roll 3 extra dice. So if you can stack up boons, that's great. If you end up with a bunch of stacked up banes, that's going to hurt. So unlike a lot of systems where it's just, oh, well, you have 3 things giving you advantage and 3 things giving you disadvantage, so it's a wash, or, oh, you have 1 thing with advantage and 3 things with disadvantage, oh, it's a wash. You actually get to figure out what you end up with. The other fun one is if you roll and fail. So we saw several fails during that. You can choose to push that roll. That means you get to roll it again, and that's with boons and banes. So if you had a boon or you had a bane, you're going to roll it just like you did before. You're just going to repeat the roll, but you're going to take a adverse stat. Every one of the core stats has an adverse effect, kind of an adverse stat that kind of corresponds to them. And until you've rested and cleared those, you'll be at bane on any skills relying on that check moving forward until you've cleared it. So kind of similar to how the stress worked in Alien, you can take some stress to roll again. In this one, you can take a negative effect in order to roll again.
Flashbacks, man.
You should have seen the Alien game I ran for Dapper on Top Hats Off. We had some people who, I don't know if they were enjoying the stress or they were playing with the system or they didn't know what they were doing, but we had some max stress rolls. We had some people rolling 10 stress die.
For real life.
It gave me anxiety listening to them.
It did in real life, yeah.
Like flashbacks.
They hadn't, because it was like a little series of 3 little sessions, so they didn't have enough time to kind of learn the system.
Right.
So they were still in the like, oh, we're in combat, we should clump up for safety.
Sid has something to say about that.
And then someone uses a fully automatic weapon and everyone is scared.
Who's using that unshielded radioactive bullets? Maggie.
Guilty.
Yeah, I know. Because mine
Not-
were shielded.
Also not sorry.
We talked about that.
Hey, what's a little bit of cancer if it keeps you from getting eaten?
It didn't, though. It still got my like.
Hey, didn't you die from getting your head like slammed into a table or something? Or oh no, you died from a laceration on a table.
I died because Jill left me bleeding out.
I saved Jill.
Yeah, I know. Now she's haunted. We decided outside roll.
All right.
Sorry.
So, does everybody kind of understand how skills checks are going to work, how advancements are going to work?
I mean,
Yeah.
no, but yes.
I'm sure we'll all forget
Sort of.
when we advance.
We'll figure it all out.
Enough to see it in progress.
You should have access to pretty much all of that in the tools in the bottom right of the VTT. Again, our viewers at home aren't going to be able to see those, but we'll make sure we kind of go over, what we take as we take it. That's going to be the kind of the point of the post game, is to kind of describe what we kind of end up with and do our kind of final thoughts. Again, beyond that, the post game will keep going to a little bit of a kind of in-game chat. None of the players are required to stick around for that. Once we've done our post-game advancements, you are welcome to drop out. But we'll go for about a half hour, give or take. I mean, if we're in a good talking mood, we'll go longer. If we're not, we'll go shorter. We're not going to promise anything on our post games on that one. Chat is always welcome to shout out questions. We've also got our Discord linked in there. I believe we remembered to link it. I'm sure we have plenty of people here that are going to be watching it. We'll make sure that we actually, make everybody here and a moderator, so we're not all just gray name. You can see who's who. Been kind of lazy about that.
There is no Discord channel in the.
What?
I don't think we were. Was it?
Hold on. Tell them. What'd you do? Nobody can hear you other than our group.
Seen behind the curtain. The wizard isn't brilliant.
I think his headset ran out of battery.
She's not from us, she's from Kent. Oh, you both had technical difficulties.
I actually unplugged my camera trying to find a charging cable for him.
Oh, this is
Well,
This
it
is
wouldn't
the
be.
first time we haven't been able to do the push to talk like normal, so he wasn't expecting to use his headset.
Everything else seemed great.
Yeah?
It was weird how.
Nobody online can hear you, by the way.
Oh, nobody can hear me. I think
No,
they-
anybody.
Oh,
We can hear you. Oh, we can hear you. I don't know about YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube can hear us.
Because it grabs my speakers.
He looks lost.
Okay, 1 second. We're going to echo real bad. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to have to go to...
this is why we have session 0.
Yep. Obviously, we changed where we were all streaming to with Discord this week. Uh-oh, we're seeing Steve's settings. Well, he's messing with it. Well, YouTube is seeing it all.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a mic check now. That's great.
All right, we should now be back on YouTube. I don't have any way to really verify that.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, as long as our audio's on YouTube, we're good. Megan and I are probably going to echo a bit right now because, we're off. Sorry, guys. I'll make sure my headset's charged next time. I was not expecting to have to use it. All right, where were we? We were talking about advancements. So we went over our questionnaire. We went over dragons and demons adding to the number of skills you get to roll. You can also be trained by somebody who has at least 15 in a skill. So that'll give you kind of an extra roll. They can do it once per so often. It's basically if you get trained by somebody, they can't train you again until you've naturally leveled that skill 1 point. So you'll have to make note of like, hey, Mike's character trained Ash on this skill. So until Ash raises that skill naturally, she can't be trained again. So that's something to keep in mind. You do have that kind of option. It is sort of limited because it has to make sense in the story that you can spend time training on that.
Just because we went over the tracker that obviously is the players we have for if we push rolls. There's one thing at the top of that tracker that kind of ties into my question on health and healing, and that is, how do death rolls work?
Death rolls work pretty much like 5e.
Oh.
It's pretty much the same. You get your, successes and fails. You're going to roll for it. If you roll, a success, you're going to bubble into success. If you roll a fail, you're going to bubble into fail. If you fail all the way out, you're going to die.
What are we rolling against for a success or fail, though? Is it just 10?
I believe it's 10. I'm going to have to look that up again because I don't remember that off the top of my head because I've never had to do a death save in Dragonbane.
Hopefully none of us have to learn.
I know we did in our one shot.
I think we did. We might have. It's been a while. So we'll kind of have to look that one up as we go. Definitely, even I'm learning a lot on Dragonbane. I'm used to running a lot of systems. This one's not one of them. But I do love like everything Free League's done. It was actually a really hard choice whether we were going to do Dragonbane or Vossen for our first game series on this channel. Vossen will probably be next.
Yes.
Does anybody else have any questions or anything they want to go over? Anything that comes to mind that you want to learn more on?
I think most of any inquiry I have kind of just has to do more with world building, lore. I think like the group talked about prior, trying to figure out how our characters do or don't know each other prior to jumping into this little
Perfect.
adventure.
That is something we're going to be going over.
Perfect.
Let's go over just a couple more things that are on the character sheet. Encumbrance, how many items you can carry. It's like half your strength rounded. That's the number of items you can carry. Some items are small and only take half a slot. Some items are big and take multiple slots. And it'll say on the item. But if your encumbrance is 6, then you can carry 6 items. Your equipped armor and weapon don't count. You can have a helm and an armor equipped, and you can have 3 weapons equipped. Shield takes a weapon slot. So those won't count against you. They work pretty much exactly like you would expect from a lot of systems. Your armor gives you a flat damage reduction, which is a little bit different than what a lot of games do. There is no kind of rolling against armor class. You're just rolling against your skill to see if you can hit. And then it's going to subtract whatever armor is there. Some of the better armor will have some negative effects with it. It'll give you a bane on various skills, depending on which armor it is. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward on that. You do have a memento, a little like signature item that can give you a bonus when you're doing your rest. It can help you clear extra statuses and things. You can only do that once per session. So keep that in mind. That's a once per session, very much like your signature item was in Alien. One time during each session, you will get to use it to get a little extra bump when you're removing some bad things. All right. I think we picked a group that for the most part kind of, just flows into things. That was kind of our idea. I think we ended up with some good players here. I didn't expect a lot of questions, which is good because I don't think we're going to get a lot. Kel wanted to know how everybody knows everybody. Did anybody have any ideas on that?
What do you mean?
Well, as far as, because you're all traveling together. Does anybody have any idea how you ended up traveling together? Any ideas of how you might kind of link that
Not
in?
me thinking.
Blacked out after
people.
drinking and woke up with these random people.
I'm hiding behind a tree watching you all, not actually in the group. You don't know I'm here, but I'm
I
here.
was playing in a tavern.
Yeah. Oh, that echo's bad. We'll have to kill that. No, you're all on a wagon. You come to consciousness and says, "Hey, you there?" No. So you guys are all kind of moving together. You do have a few little contacts here and there that we can use. For the most part, it's not super important how you guys really know each other. And honestly, if you would like, we could leave it up in the air and we could develop it as we go.
I kind of like the idea that we all saw this one orc who was willing to go into danger first, and we just kind of followed him.
You're all like, "Oh God, this is scary. Oh man, we're starting." Hey, meat shield.
You mean Mozog? Yes, of course. People get my name wrong a lot. Yeah. I did immediately pick up on the fact that apparently the orcs were the prior inhabitants of the Misty Vale. And realized that I'm probably walking into a realm that is not super accepting of me.
Probably not, but that's okay. As far
I
as
just washed up
everybody-
ashore.
Yeah, as far as everybody's like race and class and everything. Kel and Megan are the only ones playing something that is not in the basic rules. They are playing some of the ones that were added into the bestiary. So basically, this game's like monster manual.
More like bestiary. That's
Bestiary.
what it actually is.
Yeah. So it adds quite a few player races. Some of them are very fun. You can play as a frog. You can play as a lizard. You can be a satyr. You can be a little cat demon, Karkion. So yeah, you can play quite a few different fun things. Adds in some really interesting critters. The artwork is just ridiculously fun. I love the art style that they've gone with for. They use this art style for a lot of their games. I know Vossen uses a very similar art style. So
This was my first kind of go through of their style, and it's very it just immediately catches the eye. It's
it is so like.
It's got a lot of character. It's got a lot of just personality, but it does stay kind of coherent throughout, which is really nice.
It
It's not like-
reminds me of like Advanced D&D's Monster Manual, just god awful, like meme worthy art that's just disgusting. Like if somebody went back and actually put some money into that, but kept that style.
It looks like the 2E monster manual, actually,
Yeah,
where it was no longer the goofiness of the original D&D, but it's not the like edginess of the newer stuff.
yeah, it's very very much the feel I get from it. So I'm quite happy with that.
And now I need to find my 2E monster manual.
I have one over on the shelf somewhere.
By the TV.
You're not gonna be able to talk. It's just gonna echo. We'll make
Sounds
sure we
funny,
have a
though.
headsets charged next time. We'll definitely make sure we have headsets
If
charged.
she just talks loud enough, it'll go through your mic.
That technically, my mic is. I mean, it's on push to talk for you guys. It's not for YouTube. YouTube has my light mic live the whole time. So technically, if she just talks loud, it'll pick up through my mic on YouTube. You guys won't hear it.
Mine's the Omni.
Does she have a problem talking loud? I didn't think she did.
Ooh, burn.
I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could share that. But
She knows where you live, Ash.
that was immediately the one that came to mind when you shared about liking the art. I saw that earlier today. I was like, I love this.
I like they have a really derpy griffin I like. They have a really derpy like dragon hatchling that I like. It has like a lot of angles to the artwork that it's really fun. Really nice angles, really nice like color scheme to it. That kind of semi desaturated. I know I said in my my intro video for Dragonbane I did before this one. I don't like the Skittles art that a lot of the new RPGs get, where it's just really, really vibrant, saturated colors. It gets a little too much. It makes the when you get a lot of assets on the screen, it kind of all just gets glaring.
That's fair. It feels like it's kind of like an overswing from like the gray and browns of the late aughts and early teens. Like I felt like there was a lot of grittiness about 10 years ago, and we've overcorrected from that. Where it's very, like you said, Skittle is a good way to put it.
Look at that.
It's got
beautiful
natural
dragon.
camouflage. That's amazing. These books, see, the art style in these books can't be challenged. They're top notch.
Did you lose Amanda?
We might have lost Amanda. That's all right.
Oh no.
What?
Oh, you're still there? Oh, it just says VCam on your.
Oh, look at that.
That's new.
Take yourself off push to talk. I'll just yell.
Okay,
The
hold on.
cam,
Apparently,
if
I'm
you
going
will.
off of push to talk, and Megan's just going to yell.
Now she's not going to say anything.
All right, we'll see how this works.
Oh, and now YouTube can see Steve's stuff again.
Yeah, anytime I open my settings, you're gonna see them over it, but that's all right. I'm screen grabbing from Discord.
You can cheat that, by the way, if you do pop out video for the voice chat.
I might do that next time. I didn't have quite enough setup time this time to mess with it because I needed everybody online for it. So we will probably pop out the voice chat and cheat it next time. I definitely don't have enough screens for doing that. I mean, there's only 4 in front of me. So it is going to be kind of weird, though. I actually put OBS up on my main screen since that's where all of your guys' faces are that I'm watching. So that way I'm kind of looking at my camera, and then I put on my drawing tablet, I put the VTT. So it's kind of like a weird, like it's backwards from what I'm used to doing, but I'll get used to it. I've got,
I had to pop out the video just so it's near my camera because I kept looking to the side the whole time.
well, it could be like back in the olden days when you were streaming from the theater and you were like,
So if I talk
I'm not that
about-
flexible anymore. My neck would kill me after 5 minutes of that.
No, I think I have the.
yeah, you have the Omni one, but could you guys hear Megan when she was talking?
Sort of.
Noise.
Mostly.
Mostly good. She'll have to talk a little bit louder. She can do that. All right. So I think you guys want to go with kind of, we'll just introduce you as a party and you can kind of figure out exactly how you met as we go.
Yes.
That's kind of, I mean, that's a fun element.
It'll be
we-
like a TV
look
show
at the
where we just have to have a flashback every so often.
Well, I was gonna say we just like that means it's open to people just introducing things like, oh, you remember the time that we did blank, and like now that's just party lore.
Yes. Like you have a flashback of like, oh, remember when we did this?
I had a group, Aiden, Michelle, and I did a little one shot where the three of us were all barbarians, and we all agreed that we were all part of a squad from the war. We never elaborated on what the war was, and we often had flashbacks to things that happened in the war, often things that were incongruent with one another.
Oh, that is
So,
fantastic.
Well, I know
Uh,
Steve wanted to do a campaign one time where the entire group didn't know their stat sheet and had to learn it as they went.
I love that system. I love that
I've seen some. I'm a halfling. Like,
Yeah, you all
just
have amnesia.
realizing they thought they were perspective of the world this high, and they had to readjust it.
I have that I want to run, and I want to run a 5e game where we roll stats, but you're going to do like Dragonbane here, where you assign them as you go, and I'm going to have you roll 46, drop the lowest for the first two, then roll 46 for a couple more, and then roll 3d6, no drop, and then for your last one, you're going to roll 46 and drop the high. So it'll be a gamble.
Or go the
It'll-
other way and then randomly introduce a 5d6 or something.
Be like, oh yeah, it's going to get worse and worse as you go, guys, just so you know.
I don't think I like that.
No, you gotta offset it so it's randomly low and high, so you never know what's coming next. So it's,
None of you played in my Fate game. None of you got to play the one where you weren't making the characters you thought you were making.
No,
Mm-mm.
I gave up my seat.
I ran at the store. I ran a game of Fate. I've ran it twice. I ran it once for Extra Life. I ran it once for Extra Life, and I ran it once on just my table at the indie RPG table. We played in Fate, which Fate has fantastic rules for character creation. You can actually start with a blank character sheet and kind of fill in as you go.
interesting. I've heard really good things,
It's
but I don't
really
remember any
so
details.
open. Any setting, any universe, anything, just start playing. But I had everybody. I said we're going to be in kind of a steampunk, almost Harry Potter-esque, and you're going to be playing these, badass wizards. And it's kind of an old thing, wizards have to have a familiar originally, but now they've kind of worked out how to not use a familiar, but it's still like a status symbol to have one. And since you guys are going to be playing high-profile wizards, you all have to make a familiar. And everybody,
I was there for that.
You were there
That's
for
fun.
that. Everybody made these really cool wizards and their little familiar. And because familiar, oh, what do I have? I have an owl. I have a raccoon. I have a
You
possum.
made them play you made them play the familiars, didn't you?
Wizards got kidnapped and they played as the familiars.
We woke up in a cage.
I do
Jill-
remember this story because I remember Jill telling me about it from the other
Jill
side.
was a
of the-
hyena.
Jill was a hyena.
Of course she fucking.
And
was.
we had a game where we had somebody end up as a rattlesnake. One of them we had somebody end up as a turtle, and somebody else was like an orangutan that did like stage magic. I mean, it makes it fun because everybody makes these little like, here's my little flare familiar that isn't going to do anything. Yeah, no, that's your character.
I got lucky. I was a flying monkey.
I would have loved to have ended up as the orangutan because I am playing one in a different 5e campaign. So.
Nice.
It's a reskinned bugbear.
All right, so we're going to run in with. Oh no, Mike's glitching. No, he's been pulled into the Matrix.
He had to recalibrate.
So as
Should all be good now.
As we play on, there is an X card. for any safety type things if anything ever gets beyond what you can take. Megan's going to bring up the X card. All right. I don't think it pops up on the... Yeah, it does not pop up on the screen for everybody watching on YouTube. But the rest of us will all get a... just like this. It says, hold up. Somebody in the game is not comfortable with the current subject matter. It is anonymous. Nobody knows who does it. Yeah. Okay. So, well, I popped it up. I have a button that does it. I have a button that shares my screen. See, can you share my screen? If it pops up, we all stop. If you're mid dialogue, if you're mid something, if it pops up, everybody hard stop. That's full on jam the brakes. We stop, and we will. Whoever has a problem can then go ahead and DM me. Let me know what's going on. I will address the group, and we'll pick it back up again. This stream is marked for 18 plus. Even if this channel gets monetized, I do not expect this to ever be a monetized stream. So F-bombs are appropriate. Just make sure we don't, abuse. Don't get us banned from YouTube, but, anything within reason we are welcome with. For the audience, if something is bothering you and you decide to drop out for a few minutes, it won't hurt any of our feelings. You can let us all know. Either in the Discord, in the chat here. We do have the Patreon live now. Right now, I think we just get like a weekly cat photo in it, but we do have it there. At some point, we will start doing some special streams that will go up for patrons first. We're just not to that point yet. Honestly, I just hit the button that gave us YouTube live. It takes 24 hours, and I literally hit it 26 hours before the stream. So we cut that one a little close. Let's see. So we've gone over the X card. What else do we need to talk about? Anybody else have any?
There are other safety tools you can.
Yes. So in this VTT, you do have some safety tools. It's veils and lines. You can type it in on your character, and you can type in like, hey, these are the things I'm uncomfortable with. That goes under veils. And then under lines, you can do the, hey, these are a hard no. So if you do decide to use alchemy to join in games and do things, you can type that and everybody can see those. You also have in the upper left corner, you have your journal and your notes. One will show you the chat and one will give you notes where you can type in. Your notes are private. Even I can't see your notes. So if you want to keep game notes, you can keep them on the VTT. If you want to keep an actual journal or something, yeah, go for it. But if you do want to, that tool is there. You can look that up. You also have some tools in the bottom right that you can look through that I have to kind of open. Right now, you guys don't see them, but I can reveal them as needed. And then the brown kind of book in the circle in the very bottom right is the actual VTT like help button. It has quite a bit of really good information. It's got guides, like actual YouTube guides on how to use Alchemy VTT, and it's a ridiculously long playlist of guides. So much information. Link to their Discord, all of that. So that is kind of their little automated little help thing. So feel free to click through that, learn anything you need to learn. Beyond that, I think that's a pretty good walkthrough of the VTT, of our characters. We'll be doing our actual session 1 next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Again, we'll be going live. I will schedule it for 6, but we'll actually go live about a half hour early in order to get kind of a pregame. So any audience that wants to jump in, you can jump in for the pregame. It'll just be us all kind of bullshitting and getting ready to get going so that we can get that.
Is 6 p.m. Pacific, by the way.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific. Yes, we're in California time. So we'll be going live same time as we went this time, but we'll actually go live a half hour early for kind of the pre-show. Any players that want to drop in and just chit chat will be there for that. The only person who's guaranteed going to be on for the pre and post show is me. And if it's just me, then I'll start randomly grabbing stuff off the game shelf and talking about it. I don't care. There's things behind me. They're actually over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say those aren't actually behind you.
They're actually like 20 feet away, but they're behind me. You see them. This is the internet. You're not allowed to lie on the internet.
We know you're just going to grab the cats.
Crap.
Not grabbing the cat. You might-
It's always Leroy.
He's
That
the
was
one
the
that's
fake
always
cat.
here.
Just because he can't run.
He's very round, okay? He's very round. Look at he gives loves. He gets very upset when he wants to lick you if you try to take your hand away, and he will bite you. The other day he was laying in the bedroom and he was doing this cute lay on his side thing, and every time I walked by he'd bap at me. So I went and I'm like, oh, this is excellent B-roll for one of our things. So I went and I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I grabbed a tripod and I put my phone on the tripod and I set it up and I'm like, okay, cool, we're recording. And then I walked past them over and over and over, and he's like, nope, I'm done. I'm not going to play anymore.
Saw that camera come out. Nothing for free.
Give everybody your beautiful purr. Oh.
Fake purr.
Oh, no, he says. All
Too
right,
bad, Leroy. I got one. Can't take it back.
He's being a little sassy boy.
He was he's our thumbnail cat for this one. I try to put a cat in every thumbnail. He when I was doing the initial video, I set all the Dragonbane stuff out, and he decided that was now his spot. So he volunteered. Fuzzy was the one that appeared in the video, but Leroy appeared on the thumbnail. That is another thing. If we can get this channel to be monetized, which just requires us to, get some watchers, get some comments, make sure we chat away and get some interactions going. If we can get it monetized and we can get some super chats, we'll put in some rewards to force cats on the screen. You give me money and I will go harass a cat.
You monster.
What capitalism was made for? Honestly.
It
If
was
this
made-
is late stage capitalism, I'm okay with it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So, yeah, so I guess we're gonna probably close out a little early today because this was just our little session 0.
And we, screwed up.
And we screwed up and didn't charge my headphones because I didn't know I needed to charge my headphones. This is the first week that I dropped out of a Starfinder game to do this, which I'm actually kind of sad. I was enjoying my Starfinder game. It was kind of a mixed pain because we had trouble getting sessions going and we had a lot of talking and everything, but I enjoyed the game. I really liked my fellow players. It's a good group. So I'm very sad to drop out of that game. And I usually charged my headphones for it. And I didn't need to do that this week, so I didn't charge my headphones. I charged them for Wednesdays and I charged them for Fridays where I appear on Top Hats Off. I'm currently Dr. Hobnall on Star Trek Endurance. So if you guys are interested in this game and you want to watch more, cruise on over to Top Hats Off. It's 3 separate word, Top Hats Off. You'll know when you see the Ceratosaurus face. That is the Dapper Dinosaur. That's his alternate game channel where we do geeky stuff. He has invited me into a few of his games. I was Benjamin Goodwin, the Red Ranger for Power Rangers Jungle Beast, starting in episode 22. The original Red Ranger dropped out forcefully, and I replaced him quite a few episodes later. That was fantastic. Then I was Hank Lanford, the chief science officer for Star Trek Lexington. And now I'm Dr. Hobnall for Star Trek Endurance, because apparently I like the blue uniforms, I guess. Aside from that, you can also find me here on Cozy Cats. We're getting better at getting our videos out. We're behind right now, but we've got our new, we're actually using the face cams for this, but we've got our Elgato face cams now instead of, our ridiculous potato cameras. So we've got a little bit better streamline, and hopefully we should be getting videos out for you faster. Some of the people, you've already seen Mike and Ash appear in a video. Hopefully you'll get some more 4-player videos. We're actually no longer set up for 4 players though, because I need another face cam. But we'll hopefully get some more 4-player videos coming out soon too. But we've got quite a few recorded. We're doing some editing. we're gonna try to get back to once a week on them. It's gonna be a slow process, guys. We're all, Megan and I are both just now learning the editing software. We're just now learning all of our actual filming and everything, and we're making a lot of mistakes. We're learning a lot.
And we both work 40 hours a week.
And we both work 40 plus hours a week. So we appreciate you guys sticking with us. We appreciate all the comments. Feel free to, like, subscribe, follow, Patreon, drop in the Discord. Discord is open free for everybody.
Go check out Mike's shit.
Oh yes. Well, we'll get to that because we're gonna give everybody a chance to go through. Oh,
She came out of the window in a bad
Different cat.
time.
different cat. We have
Caught
Fidget.
another one, huh?
Oh.
You captured her spirit, it seems.
Yes, the chroma key never likes Fidget. The chroma key has never liked Fidget. Oh, here you go.
I think you're giving into the tech too much. You just need to accept that you have a phantasmal kitty.
Well, that's all cats.
Just roll it. No, but particularly.
Particularly Fidget, yes. So let's go ahead
Really
and
unbound by reality.
I've done my spiel. Megan, do you have anything to add to the closing spiel? Visit by. And anybody else, you got anything you want to shout out, where they can find you, where they can chat with you? Mike, you want to talk about your boxes?
Nah, we don't need to do that.
You don't want to talk
I don't
about...
need to shill for that.
Chill away, man. Chill away, dude. Anybody that's on this that actually stuck.
I don't have product available. It's all we don't keep inventory stocked anymore.
I'll put a link in the description.
GamingRelics.com now, right? Still?
Always.
Always. GamingRelics.com. Mike sells modern, nice clamshell cases for retro video games.
I know how to shill for this. Where'd it go?
Do
Come
it.
I can
shill
change
it.
my background.
Change your
Shill,
background.
baby,
Shill. Shill.
Come on.
Somewhere I have a picture of just an entire bookcase full of these things. Keep talking for now, though.
Yeah. So he's been doing that for quite a while.
Stall.
They
It's not
are
stop.
fantastic. If I had space to put games somewhere in here, I would have a physical game collection, but I don't have physical space for it. There we go. Yeah, look at those beautiful.
No, that's not enough of them.
No, it's not.
You know,
enough.
Mike. Now that you showed me, I do have some shelf space. I'm just saying. Point out. Just
So, oh yeah,
incidental.
anybody in here, even my players, if you decide you want to buy cases from Mike, don't do what Ian did and order them online and then try to just tell Mike that you want cases. Like, he can just sell them to you directly. He doesn't have to go through the web.
But I want that cold, impersonal feeling. You know, like
And the shipping cost.
and the shipping cost.
right. I want the detachment.
And then Ian tried to not take the money back for the shipping cost.
But anyhow, yeah, if you have retro game collection and you want to put them in nice, pretty cases that makes them all match, because those original SNES cardboard boxes just did not last. They, we were all kids then and we tore them to shreds. You can get these nice matching cases that look beautiful. They have like original game looking art on them. They are gorgeous. He does pretty high quality print for all of his sleeves. So yeah, if anything like that, GamingRelics.com, check out his stuff. It's fantastic. Ash is also there. She's also doing the Gaming Relic stuff.
She's lovely on her own. She's
I am a slave.
She's a
The
slave.
store.
Or that.
I mean,
It's true.
You do have
Oh.
a slave band.
That is true. Why do you ask for
Apparently
slave, man?
it
I'm not
is it showing
affiliated
up
with that aspect
backwards
of
or
the
the
business. I
correct
just
way
want it
for
out there.
you?
Shows up correct for me. Remember, Discord shows you mirrored for yourself.
Hey.
Yeah, look
There
at
we go.
that.
I just have to get out of the way.
Even got the chocobo.
That is not included.
No, if you want the chocobo, you have to show up and fight Ash with knives in order to get the chocobo.
You will lose.
Ash still won't talk to me ever since I admitted I played Lalafell. So
Ew.
Calamanda, anything you wanna shill? Anything you wanna announce?
no, I don't have a social media presence. If any of you find me online, I'll probably contact authorities.
If you
So
find
don't
Kel
do that.
online, he's lost. Please show him back to the real world.
Thank you. Yeah, I am not made to be digitized. I will get derezzed. And I will make really sad sounds when it happens.
The Windows shutdown sound.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll see me. I'll just blue screen. Right.
Your little Irish
Red ring
will
of
change
death.
to the beach ball of death.
Speed it.
All right. Anything else from anybody? Nope. I think we're all good. If you're in the Central California area, Fresno area, swing by Crazy Squirrel. You might run into any of us randomly. We're there quite a bit. Fantastic store. They sell all sorts of. They sell Lego now. They sell Lego.
Explains why our chums are so busy there now. Yes. That and the Magic release.
They don't have any sets I want right now, but they do sell Lego. I want the big T-Rex. So yeah, they sell Lego now. They sell tabletop games. They've got a really good collection of tabletop games. They sell Games Workshop, Warhammer.
It's just a good space to be. It's just a really
good
positive
space to be. You can rent
it's-
table space to play. You can rent private
when I first went to the
rooms.
Central Valley, I felt pretty lost until I ended up there. I admit. So these
Yeah.
people help me find a
So
sense of
definitely,
community.
if you're in our area, swing by Crazy Squirrel. The staff's friendly. We love them. They hook us up with a lot of the stuff you see on. Well, if you see it on our channel, as far as our board games go, it is like 99.9% likely it came from Crazy Squirrel.
Yeah. Show up, tell them that we sent you. You probably won't get any deals for that, but it might get us something. So that's kind of
Yeah. Tell them DM Steve sent you. Tell him Cal said hi.
Yeah,
You know,
I might get some kickbacks. So that's pretty
They
nice. So.
won't. None of that. Just tell them I sent you.
Yeah, tell them Megan sent you, and they'll actually care.
Yeah, that's true.
The rest of us are just the people that tag along behind Megan. It's fine.
She has an entourage, yeah, but not like show entourage. That was.
They do.
They're just
they do
happy
events.
Megan's their employee that doesn't have to get paid.
Unpaid employees.
That's not. There's a different word for that, I think.
Yeah. Oh, we heard it earlier with Slave. They do some events there. When's the next painting event?
I have not scheduled a painting event.
God, why have you not scheduled a painting
I
event?
know.
I recommend
Every Thursday.
We've
I
had,
recommend.
but we've had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So we do some miniature painting events and big parties where everybody gets together and paints. You gotta either pay admission or buy a miniature to paint. What was the admission? It's $10. Yeah, $10.
Yeah.
Brushes and paint provided.
June
Super
21st
reasonable.
Is free RPG day.
June 21st is free RPG day. I will be at Crazy Squirrel. I will be running Dragonbane. They've announced the name of the new adventure, but I don't know anything about it yet.
I pick it up tomorrow.
It's picked up tomorrow, so I will know about it tomorrow. So I might be able to give some sneak information on it. I won't announce anything that would be spoilers, but I might be able to get some overviews of it. Last year's was the Sinking Tower. It was honestly a really fantastic run. I really enjoyed the Sinking Tower.
It was really fun.
I hated the last puzzle, but up to the last puzzle, it was great. So yeah, we'll have painting events. They do D&D tables,
Board game night.
Magic the Gathering.
Warhammer,
Mhm.
Escalation Leagues.
Yep,
It
Escalation League.
really is. It really is a smorgasbord, and they have a huge wall of games that you can rent just to play that night,
Yep.
which is really cool.
You
I
can
don't know if
get-
that's still there,
You
but
can rent
that was
table
one of the
space,
coolest things.
pull games out of the library and play. They'll have demo games. If you see a game on the shelf, you're like, man, how's this work? If they have it in the demo library, they will take you over and play a game with you. They'll get it set up for you.
Yep.
They will demo games.
It's a really special store.
Yeah, it is.
Highly recommend.
So
It is. It's more than just a sword, really.
but I want to thank everybody for joining for this. We had 9 concurrent viewers with 16 total views. So that was
That's pretty good.
more than I expected. I honestly really didn't expect people to watch. So thank you everybody that watched. Everybody that watches it after live, thank you as well. We appreciate it. We love doing this and we look forward to keep doing more. Next week will be session 1. It should be much more entertaining. It won't just be us all talking about numbers. It'll be us talking about how we hate what numbers came up.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we'll still be talking numbers.
We'll just have a lot of emotions tied up in those numbers.
We'll care.
Yeah. So thank you.
We'll laugh.
everybody.
We'll cry. We'll cry some more.
we are going to close this out. Thank you all, and we will catch you next time. We're going to try to have a video live on or recorded for Sunday.
Yes.
We'll try to edit a video and do for Sunday. We should do Cascadia. It's been so cursed.
Yeah, that's actually the one I grabbed to do. So.
Okay, Cascadia. So either Cascadia goes up noon on Sunday Pacific time, or we're liars. Thank
Place
you,
your bets.
We'll
everybody.
have to wait till Sunday to find out which.
Yep. Well, unless you're watching this in the future, then you already know.
Don't tell us. We don't want spoilers.
Yeah, don't tell us. If you make a time machine, don't come back and tell us.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We will catch you all next week. Bye.